Did you have any problems when you got out of school trying to find a job?
Um, when I graduated from high school, a class of 400 students, I had the highest average of anybody in the class, and I was given a scholarship to Occidental College up in LA. But even with the generous scholarship, my mother couldn't afford to send me to Oxy because it was a private school and it took more than the scholarship. So I came to San Diego State. I studied to be an elementary teacher and didn't have a bit of trouble when I graduated in 1940 getting a job. I sent my application out several places and all of them wanted to give me a contract. In fact, I signed a contract early with Coronado, and San Diego was upset because I hadn't taken their offer, which came a week later.
What were some of your impressions of Franklin Delano Roosevelt as an individual and some of his characteristics?
I thought he was a wonderful person, very charismatic person, and capable. I think he was a fine president. There were people that hated him. Either you loved him dearly or you hated him passionately. And it's about the same way today. There's people that really hate Clinton and people that like Clinton. So that's not too different. I do think it's possible that he manipulated our getting into the war, World War II, to help the economy.
Did your opinion of Franklin Delano Roosevelt change after the first term?
No.
And then towards the late 30s, did you have any second thoughts about him?
No. People ridiculed all of these programs in CCC and the WPA. There were terrible, terrible jokes about the people that worked for the WPA, that they would just stand there resting on their shovels and get paid for doing nothing but great works of art that were funded by the WPA. There were beautiful bridges built and highways, and I thought it was a good idea.
Now looking back, do you still hold him as high as you did then?
With a few reservations.
Okay, what would those be?
The fact that, like I said before, there might have been some kind of manipulation in getting us involved in World War II. I'll tell you the Pearl Harbor story, Zac. Okay. I was teaching in Coronado and always went home to Alhambra on the weekend. I took the ferry across to the train station and took the train up to LA. And Mother or Herbie, Reba's husband, would meet me at the train and we'd go out to Alhambra. It was this weekend on a Sunday morning, about 11 o'clock, when the word came through about Pearl Harbor, Herbie was outside in the swing reading the paper, and all of us were just shocked. About 4 o'clock, it was time for somebody to take me to the train station, and the place was transformed. There were thousands of men waiting to get on trains to join their units. I finally pushed my way onto the San Diego train because fortunately I had a ticket, and the train was packed. There were 4 and 5 people in each seat. The aisles were full, the vestibules were full. It was just a completely different world. I got off the train, got on the ferry, and over to Coronado, and everything is totally black. And so I walked up to the house where I was staying, and we were, for about the next week, we were terrified because we were sure the Japanese were going to land on the West Coast. I even had a nightmare of waking up and my window was next to my bed, and I could see somebody pushing up the window, and this Japanese soldier's head poked into the room.
That was the hysteria. That was the war hysteria.
So that was the Pearl Harbor story. I'll tell you one depression story.
Okay.
I was in high school, and it was 1933. My mother was uptown shopping with Reba, and she told me to stir the macaroni on the stove so it wouldn't stick. So I was stirring the macaroni, and all of a sudden, the whole stove, the kitchen, everything starts to heave and rock and roll. And it's the 1933 earthquake. So I rushed out the back door, rushed back in, turned off the fire under the macaroni, rushed back out over to the hedge of my next door neighbor, who was a preacher, and I thought, he'll know what to do. I tried to go through the hedge, and the hedge threw me back, and I tried a second time, got over there, couldn't find Reverend Trueblood any place. His wife leaned out the window, and she said, he's sick in bed with the flu. So I ran around to his window and stuck my head in the window, and he comforted me. By this time, the earth had stopped shaking. Mother was uptown. They ran outside of the drugstore just as they did. The plate glass window broke all over the pavement. The druggist came out, took one look at Mother, ran back in, and came out with smelling salts. That was a Friday. We were supposed to have a debate that evening at the high school, and I think it was canceled. Everybody was too much on edge.
Was there any damage to your house or to the high school or anything?
No. Well, to the high school, yes. A few buildings were condemned. The elementary school was completely condemned, and all boarded up, eventually taken down. It was a 2-story brick building. So the kids went to school in bungalows for about 4 years.
Thank you for letting me interview you.
It was fun, Zac. Thank you.